Hello, hello. I'm Casey,
And I'm Fallon.
and this is
Render the darkness.
Your fact for this episode is that baby hedgehogs are called hoglets.
Oh,
Isn't that cute?
hoglets.
I want a little hoglet.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is adorable.
Okay, so this is going to be a fun, hopefully kind of goofy.
Much shorter than we've been doing episode.
Yes, this one is going to be quite a bit shorter. But in this episode, we're going to be talking about the most famous cryptid that lurks around in the woods of Arkansas.
Arkansas. You guys sure do a lot of Arkansas places.
Or don't.
Who knew so many things would happen in Arkansas?
Right? And now this creature has been spotted as far back as 1811, and some say as far back as 1721. Okay. A little bit of background first. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because this is something that we will go into deeper in another episode, some point in time. Not sure when, but we will. Some people think that the first person to see the first set of footprints made by this creature was David Thompson in 1811. There have been many prints that have been found since then as well. Now, what creature am I talking about? I am sure that most people probably know of the creature I'm referring to. Can you guess? Can you can't because you're reading it.
It seems unfair. I had a good guess.
Yeah, I bet you did. So the creature that I am talking about is none other than the elusive Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Whoa. Did David Thompson also have flying hands?
Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't there.
If he did, you might have been related. Flying hands. Twinkle fingers.
Oh, you're so mean. Okay. Okay, so it is said that some Spanish explorers and Mexican settlers would tell stories of very large creatures that they called, I'm going to try to say this correctly, Los Vigilantes Oscuros, or the Dark Watchers, that would come into their camps while they slept. Now, 1721, a Jesuit priest who was staying with the Natchez people in what is now known as Mississippi reported that there were creatures covered in hair that lived in the woods and would scream very loudly and even steal their livestock. In 1924, 5 people were in Washington in a ravine that is now known as Ape Canyon, located on Mount St. Helens, where they were searching for gold, when they say that they were violently attacked by what they would call gorilla men. During the attack, they were able to injure one of the creatures, and later that night, the creatures came back, returned, throwing boulders at the men's cabin, and the creatures would continue to ram their cabin throughout the night. The men left as soon as the sun came up the next day. Now, when describing the Sasquatch, many people think of a large, ape, human-like creature covered in dark hair, height varying from 6 feet up to 15 feet, and it'll be up, walking up on 2 feet. Now, people also say that the creature has a very terrible odor and can move around the woods without being hurt. One man named Michael Rugg said that the creature smelled like a skunk mixed with dead animals and garbage. They say that the footprints can be up to 24 inches in length and 8 inches wide, and some having claws. Other descriptions of Sasquatch include large wide shoulders, long arms, and no noticeable neck. Some people have claimed that the eyes will glow a bright red or yellow at night.
Mm-hmm. Harry and the Hendersons.
Love that movie. I cried at the end of it. It's so sad. Now, the United States built the Sulphur Fort factory in 1818 to try and slow down the Spanish. Oh, I completely missed
that whole thing.
Sorry.
Rewind.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so now the particular Bigfoot that I'm talking about is called either the Boggy Creek monster or the Fouke monster. Now, Fouke is in Miller County, Arkansas, which is about 11 miles south of Texarkana.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that might have actually been the most important sentence of the whole story that you were about to jump over.
Yeah, because the rest of this, I mean,
it's kind of what ties it together.
You would have eventually heard the name again, but, it's a little bit down here, so that was my bad.
Hilarious.
Okay, so the United States built a sulfur fork factory in 1818 to try and slow down the Spanish hold on the district. The Native Americans would trade all sorts of items like animal furs, honeys, and wax. They received things like tobacco, flour, and guns for these items, and these trades would last for 4 years. The Civil War steered a lot of people into the direction of the western frontier, and ex-Confederate cavalryman James Franklin Shaw was part of them, and he made his home in Texarkana in 1876. Now, by the time 1887 came around, he was a Baptist minister who led his church community to look for somewhere they could take advantage of the things that were not available to them where they were. They wanted a place that was a private type of community where all the businesses would close on Saturdays, because being to them, Saturday was a Sabbath. Now, many of the Seventh-day Baptists were not able to find jobs because they couldn't work on Saturday because of their religious beliefs, and they would get fined a lot because they would work on Sunday because of the execution of blue laws. They would, like I said, get fined for it. Now, blue laws are laws that make it illegal to do certain things on Sunday, like working. Now, the first time that these laws were established in Arkansas was in 1837, but they haven't been enforced since 1982, except with the limit of buying alcohol on Sundays and on Christmas in some places.
Yeah. So you said they were Baptist?
Yeah, they are called the Seventh-day Baptists.
Mm-hmm. That's unusual for a Baptist to believe that Saturday is the day of.
Yes, that's what I thought whenever I was looking at it, because I was like, well, like most, it's usually on Sunday, but I didn't really go dive deep into that religion, because.
Right.
But.
I was just kind of making sure I heard it right. I was like, well, that's different.
Okay, so now the community settled in a place in 1889 that was 13 miles south of Texarkana, Shreveport, and the Natchez Railroad. The railroad was a smaller track that would end at George W. Fouke's sawmill that was 2 miles south of Boggy Creek. Now, when James Shaw left Texarkana and went to their new home that was named the Sabbath Outpost, he started to talk to everyone about his new colony. And many people that were Seventh-day Baptists quickly began going to Fouke from many other states. Now, he told people that he would provide good prices on land, make lumber affordable, and that they would get free railroad passage to the new community. And George Fouke actually helped the people build their new town, and they would name it after him. But they would name the streets after important Seventh-day Baptists known all over the nation. Now, the Prohibition era created a lot of issues for Fouke. Some men had actually been killed pretty violently in the streets from 1921 to 1936 because of the illegal bootlegging of liquor. Now, because Fouke was in close proximity to 3 other states, it was pretty easy for people to carry out awful crimes and just jump the border to a new state. A few criminals that you might know that took refuge in the area was Bonnie and Clyde and Kenny Wagner, who was a bootlegger that had killed 5 people. Now, I've heard Bonnie and Clyde, but I've actually never heard of Kenny Wagner.
Same.
During the early years, Fouke had a huge economic improvement from the sawmill that was in Boggy, about 2 miles south. Now, founded in 1888, the city's population was about 260 residents. But when the sawmill stopped running, the whole town moved to a different area. So during the Great Depression, the only bank in Fouke went broke in 1930, but because of the different programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps, or the CCC, and the Works Progress Administration, or the WPA, a lot of the men were able to get jobs working on roads, bridges, school gyms, outdoor toilets, soil erosion prevention, and forest preservation. Now, World War II also gave many people the opportunity to work at the New Red River Army Depot that was located 28 miles west in Hooks, Texas, while other people decided to find work in Texarkana doing various projects and working at factories. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on the town and the city, a little bit of the history. So now on May 2nd, 1971, the Fouke monster made the papers when Bobby Ford and his wife Elizabeth said that they were attacked. Now, the Fouke monster was a 2-mile-long, 2-foot-long creature that lived in the Texarkana area. It was Now, Elizabeth claimed that she had seen something reach through their screen window with a hair-covered arm that had claws while she was sleeping on the couch. She said at first that she thought it was a bear, but Bobby and his brother chased the creature away. Now, when the encounter happened, he said that they saw the creature with a flashlight and fired several shots, and they thought at one point that they hit it, but they couldn't find any blood. And he also claimed that he ran back to the property after he'd heard screams and he was attacked again. Now, there was a search party put together, but after a while, without having any luck of finding the creature, they did find footprints that had 3 toes that was pretty close to their home. They also found scratch marks on their front porch, a damaged window, and damage to the siding of their home. The couple did say that they had been hearing sounds outside of their home for a few nights before the event took place. Now, another sighting happened on May 23rd, 1971. D.C. Woods Jr., Wilma Woods, and Miss R.H., hopefully I said this correctly, Sedgas, said that they had seen an ape-like creature going across U.S. Highway 71. There would be many other people claiming to see the creature over the next few months, with some finding other footprints. Now, the footprints that were found by Scott Keith were pretty well known throughout the town. He had found them in a soybean field that he had owned. But Carl Glayan, hopefully I said that correctly, Gallion, who was the game warden at the time, wasn't able to verify if they were real or not, but they did show 3 toes like the Ford's footprints did. Now, after the news had spread, the Little Rock, Arkansas radio station, KAAY, decided to offer a bounty for the creature of $1,090, and today that would be worth $8,464.
That's such an odd number to offer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why there's wouldn't just do 1,000.
Yeah, that's such a strange.
1,100 even.
I was like, yeah, why would they? 1190.
Yeah, straight down. But a lot of people did try to track the creature down, and some even tried to use dogs, but the dogs weren't able to get the scent. Now, at some point, hunters started to go after it, and the sheriff at the time, Leslie Greer, had to put a no-guns order temporarily to ensure the safety of the public. 3 people were actually given a fine of $59, which is $458 a day, because they made a fake monster report.
Ah, you can't do that.
No, that's not nice.
The monsters have enough to deal with. Not you making up lies.
Lies? Now, eventually, the interest in the creature came to a halt for a while, until about 1973, when a docudrama horror film was made in 1972 called The Legend of Boggy Creek. Now, in the later part of 1974, the interest died down again, and so did the sightings. But in March of 1978, 2 brothers supposedly found tracks in Russellville, and other sightings began to occur in Center Ridge. Yeah. On June 26, 1978, someone said they had seen the creature in Crossett, and it was being accused of taking livestock and attacking dogs in the area. Now, there have still been sightings of the creature. In 1991, someone claimed to have seen it jump from a bridge. In 1997, there had been at least 40 reports of people seeing it. And in 1998, it was supposedly seen in a creek bed 5 miles south of Fouke. Now, I did find an article from October 21st, 2023 on the site ABC 7 by Your Side that talks about a pretty recent sighting and another account from years ago. Now, Reba Killian was a young girl when she first laid eyes on the creature when she was out for a night for a drive with her parents. Now, she said, quote, 7.5 to 8 feet tall, and we just started screaming. We were banging on the truck trying to get our parents to stop because we were kids. Nobody was going to believe us. And we used to run those woods all the time in between my house and her house. And after that, I said no more. I'm not going back in those woods. It could have snapped us like a twig if it wanted to. Now, Denny Roberts, who owns the Monster Mart in Fouke, if you haven't seen it, you should look up a picture. It's pretty cool. Said, quote, you get people coming in, bringing their guns and dogs and different things, tromping through and tearing down fences. He also stated people are private back over there, and they don't like to be ridiculed, and a lot of times they get ridiculed when they say they saw something, you know? And another gentleman by the name of Tom Zorn, who is, quote, a self-styled diamond-digging Sasquatch hunting poet, stated, quote, no reason to bring it up to anybody. It is what it is. I'm not going to hunt in certain areas. There's several areas of this countryside here that I will never go into again to hunt.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah, see, I thought that was like, wow, that's awesome.
Aw. That's a little weird, though.
I mean, it is.
Oh, that's supposed to be a tree. I thought that was his legs. I was like, that's weird. That's supposed to be a tree.
Oh my god. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, you should look, especially now that she just explained what she thought she'd seen.
That is not what it is at all.
That's hilarious.
Next time you tell me to look something up, I am not looking it up while we're recording.
That's the best reaction, though. That's funny. Okay, so the paper also says that there have been many sightings over the years of the creature, but there was one not too long ago by Denny Roberts, who claimed to have seen it 2 Sundays ago. He said, quote, first thought it was a deer, but I said, no, that's no deer. It had too big of a body mass. It was reddish orange, looked to me kind of like an orangutan. And Doyle Holmes also claimed to have seen tracks while he was out hunting. He said, quote, it's got a little bunion on the side, and we've since then seen several more tracks in the woods, and it looks like the same individual. So this Bigfoot or Sasquatch has got a bunion.
It's only got 3 toes.
Oh, can you imagine a big old footprint? It's just like boop, 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 boop. Oh my gosh.
I gotta get behind that store and see this thing's feet.
Now, one person that lives in the vicinity has dedicated their lives trying to find the creature and prove that it does, in fact, exist. William Lunsford, who is a Bigfoot researcher and wrote a book about the Fouke monster and shows a lot of evidence about the creature, said, quote, generally, this is one of the structures that you find the most of. It'll be an X structure. Now, I don't know if it means this is the edge of my territory. I don't know if it means keep out or whatever it is. This is actually done by a Bigfoot. So it wasn't very long, I'm sorry, but that's the story of Boggy Creek monster or the Fouke monster.
Interesting.
I wanted to do something a little fun, I'm not saying that I don't believe, because I personally do believe that it is out there.
Absolutely. 1000%.
Very much. But I just wanted to do something that we could be a little bit silly on, have some fun, because
it wasn't an hour long like the last case. Again, sorry.
Yeah. But, with something like this, it's just easier to, excuse me.
That was fun.
Just kind of mess around, laugh, giggle, and not feel bad about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
So,
I thought that was a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed that case.
Thank you, because, a lot of our cases, it's not fun. Like the true crime aspect of it,
Touch on some pretty sensitive things, especially the last couple cases that I've covered for sure have been heavy. So this was a relief, and it was nice. And joking aside, that really is a super rad looking store. So if you're ever around the area of Fouke, Arkansas, you should definitely go check that store out.
For sure. And
that's not sponsored. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, we live in Arkansas. I have not been there.
I'm
pretty sure she hasn't either. We should make a trip. I know we've promised.
We will get you guys a video of us doing something in person, going and seeing something in person and doing something in person. We will get on that, but with the holidays and everything, it's put a little bit of a delay in us doing a lot of the things that we had planned. So
yeah, I kind of put my foot in my mouth in November whenever I was like, what? A month? 2 weeks? Yeah. That was my fault. But we will get something. We'll get something, I promise.
Yeah.
I promise.
Also, we are excited to say that our next cases that we are going to be doing, we are fixing to launch a 100 cases per... That's not the right way to word that. We're going to cover true crime cases and ghosts in all 50 states, starting in alphabetical order.
Minus Arkansas.
Minus Arkansas on the ghost stories, because she already did Arkansas. But I will come up with at least one ghost story for Arkansas that was not covered in that. But the way it's going to work is that we are both going to do a true crime case out of every single state. Again, going in alphabetical order. And we are also going to do a ghost case or a compilation of ghost cases out of each state, also in alphabetical order, minus Arkansas. That being said, if you have a case in a state that you would like us to do, and you would like that to be one of the cases that we cover while going down the line of the states, we would love to have your feedback and your input, and we would love to look into whatever cases that you would like to have heard or to have covered.
Even ghost stories.
Yeah, if you have a ghost story from a specific state. And
normal, like any...
Absolutely. And us doing the starting this 50 state series, I think is what we decided we were going to call it. Even with us doing that, that's not to say that we won't do cases from states we've already done. So if we've already done a state, but you have a case from that state that you would like heard, please send it to us. Email it to us. Comment on something, personal message us, whatever. Email us.
We can always backtrack. That's,
Absolutely. No, and if you have a case suggestion, we will eventually get to it.
Yes.
And we will do it. So, yeah, if you have one that you want us to cover, please feel free to reach out and let us know.
Yeah.
We're really excited about that. I think the first state we're going to be doing is Alabama. So we are both. So the next 3 cases are going to be one from her from a true crime in Alabama, one from me in a true crime in Alabama, and I'm also going to be doing the ghost story out of Alabama. We're going to alternate doing the ghost stories state to state, but we're both going to do a true crime from each state. So anyway, just kind of excited about that, and just wanted to throw that out there and let you guys know what to expect out of our next episodes.
Yeah.
And we got many more to come after that. So please keep your recommendations flowing. Yeah. And other than that, as always, thank you guys so much for spending time with us today. We appreciate it very much. We hope you had fun with this one, because we certainly did.
It was a blast.
Please look up that store and tell me if you too thought it was legs.
Monster Mart in... I'll say it right. Monster Mart in Fouke. I was going to say Monster Mart in Fouke.
That was cute. Thank you. As always, this is
Render the Darkness.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
That was way out of sync. What happened?
And do it again in sync. 1, 2, 3. Bye.
I'm talking about Render the Darkness.
Oh,
we just
do it again. 1, 2, 3. We are. 1, 2, 3.
We are Render the Darkness.
Yay, we got it that time.